Good day everyone. For today's discussion, I will be tackling about teacher-directed activity. What is teacher-directed activity? A mathematics teacher has a variety of methods and techniques available for use in teaching mathematics. Teaching and learning are linked logically in teacher's mind. Activity-based learning focuses of these organs, and learning should be based on doing some hands-on experiments and activities. At school level in mathematics, the activity or activities may be in the form of game, puzzles, worksheet paper, folding paper cutting, concept mapping of mathematical modeling, and etc. What is direct method of teaching mathematics? Direct instruction refers to explicit, step-by-step instruction in which the teaching of facts, rules, and action sequence is most efficiently is achieved. Direct instruction is a teacher-centered strategy in which the teacher are the major information provider. There are the 5 methods of teaching mathematics. The first method is a lecture method. In this method, knowledge is delivered through a speech. A teacher takes part as an active participant, and students are the receiving end most of the time. That is why it is teacher-centered approach. In this method, a teacher takes part as an active participant and students are the receiving end most of the time. That is why it is called a teacher-centered approach. This is also referred to as direct instruction, training model, active teaching, and explicit instruction. Lecture method is not only used for teaching theoretical concept, but it is also helpful for giving training of complex skills and procedures. The second method is inductive method. This method is also called scientific method, in which we proceed from known to unknown, from specific to general, and from example to rule or formula. In this method, based on induction, students are represented some similar example or problems related to one particular domain. Then students try to establish a formula, rule, law, or principle by observing them. If a generalized result is true for the similar examples or problems, then it would also be true for all other such kind of example. This is a student-centered approach because students play an active role in it. These methods helps to motivate the students to think logically and make the learning environment more interesting. The third method is a deductive method. This method is totally different from inductive method. In this method, we proceed from general to specific and from rule to an example. Already constructed formulas, rules, methods, or principles are taught to the students and they apply to them to solve the problem. In this teaching approach, we can also prove a theorem with the help of undefined terms, defined terms, and postulates. Then with the help of the theorem along with different rules and principles, we can drive another theorem as well. Lastly, synthetic method. This method is completely opposite to the analytic method as we proceed from the given or known elements in the problems to the desired solution or unknown. In this method, we synthesize or put together separate elements or small portion given in the problem to draw a series of conclusions until the unknown or desired result is found. This method is quite simple and led by analytic method. Process of analysis in analytic method clears the basics of any concept. On the other hand, the synthetic method is based on already learned concepts. Teachings in today's mixed ability classroom can be a challenge. These days, it is not uncommon to find a wide range of abilities in one classroom, from students struggling to group new concepts to those who are way ahead of their peers from day one. Here are 7 effective strategies for teaching elementary math. First, make it hands-on. Elementary math can be difficult because it involves learning new abstract concepts that can be tricky for children to visualize. Manipulative are hands-on tools that make math a lot easier for young children to understand. Tools like Lego, clay, and wooden blocks can also be used in the classroom to demonstrate how math ideas work. Use visuals and images. While students will come across countless graphs and visuals in their math textbooks, research showed that this is not the only place they should be utilized. Find opportunities to differentiate learning. It is important that students feel comfortable and are given the opportunity to learn new math ideas at their own pace without feeling rushed. But while the idea that given enough time, every student will learn is nothing new, it is easier said than done. Ask students to explain their ideas. This process can be carried out every stage of problem solving. When teaching elementary math, once students have offered an answer, ask them to verbalize step by steps how they got that answer. That is, ask students to explain their ideas. Incorporate storytelling to make connections to real-world scenarios. Incorporate story problems into your classroom lessons allow students to see how certain math concepts can apply to real life. Story problems are also a good way to help students understand how to use math in everyday life and see the relevance of math. Show and tell new concepts. Elementary math teachers should normally begin each lesson through show and tell new concepts. Elementary math teacher should normally begin each lesson with a show and tell. Telling is the process of sharing information and knowledge with students, while showing involves modeling how to do something. These days, teachers can really kick show and tell up a notch with an interactive whiteboard, using animations and videos to clearly show and tell specific math concepts in an engaging and interesting way. Let your students regularly know how they're doing. Feedback is an important part of teaching elementary math and improving students' results. Let your students know how they have performed on a specific test, along with helpful ways what they run further improve and extend their skills. Remember, feedback is different to praise. Focus your feedback on the task itself rather than the students, and make sure that they have a clear understanding of what they did well and how they can improve next time. Why do teachers need methods and strategies for teaching math? Teachers who have mastered effective approaches and strategies in teaching mathematics can help increase students' mathematical knowledge and improve math outcomes. Teachers, when empowered with effective instructional strategies for teaching math, can move the needle on students' mathematical achievement. To engage students on a regular basis in grappling with an important mathematical idea that required them to expend effort to make sense of unsolved problem that is not immediately apparent but the solution of which is within their reach. That's all for today's discussion. I hope you learned something new and thank you for listening. God bless us all.